Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Wild Norwood 2020 and our live streamed events. My name is Kim Hart and I'm the Vice Chair of Norwood Forum and organiser of this festival. And it's lovely to see you all today. If you haven't managed to get out and about to look at your neighbours' window wonderland windows, there's still at least a week to do that, and most people keep their window displays up until Christmas, so plenty of time in fact. Tonight is our second food session, and this time we're going to hear from Nida and Sahar of Lucknow to London, and you'll recognise them if you're a regular at West Norwood Feast, which incidentally is tomorrow. Nida and Sahar are here to talk about their recipes and answer your questions. And we have two very short cooking demos to watch as well. So let me welcome Nida and Sahar, and perhaps I could start by asking you both to tell us a little bit about Lucknow to London before we watch the first video.
Okay, hello, this is Nida here from Lucknow to London and my sister Sahar.
Hello.
We started the business in 2016 and we started actually trading from Telsil. And then we went on to start trading at West Norwood Feast. We do Indian street food. We take classic Indian dishes and British dishes and Indian fire. And the reason for starting the business was because people used to come to our house to eat our mother's cooking. Lucknowan food is not very well known in this country. And people used to say to our mother, why don't you open a restaurant? So we took it on board. And we started cooking for a living.
Taking our mum's food to the streets of London, or South London.
Yeah.
So are you both from Lucknow, or your family's from Lucknow?
Yeah, our mother and father originate from Lucknow.
All
So
right, fantastic.
Lucknow is where all the, a lot of the meat dishes originate from Lucknow. And it's got a lot of sort of like rich taste of Nawabs and royalty and stuff. So it's not really known in this country.
But in India it's really known. So everyone goes on about Lucknowan food in India.
It's the top places for street food in India. So here it's not known. So when my mother and father used to host dinner parties, people would be like, oh, this is so different. This is not like, oh, obviously it's not like restaurant food, but it's different because of the spices that they use. It's like, for example, they use coconut, but they use coconut in South India as well as North India, but it's such a difference, the use of coconut in a dish, that it's not got the same flavors. So it's like my mother, for example, mashallah, she's a really good cook, that she can smell if it tastes okay or not. It's that sense of loving the food that you cook and the perfection that mashallah she's done over 50 years of cooking. So yeah.
But also what we're trying to show as well, it's actually, especially cooking the vegetables, it's very simple. My mum actually doesn't put that many spices together, but it just all blends really well. And that's what we're trying to try to show with the veg that the mushrooms we cooked, is actually not that many spices and not that much time, but it just cooks really well.
It's easy to do.
And it's easy to do. Yeah. It's very simple to do. It's very straightforward. Yeah. Because we didn't really, I mean, I actually didn't used to cook at all, and now I've been cooking for ages, but it's very simple and you just get the hang of it.
So the video that you're going to watch, our cousin's wife, she's done the voiceover. So if you hear a Canadian accent, it's not us. We're not from Canada. We're from South London. And so she actually then followed the recipe and made the mushroom palau herself. And she was saying that it was really good and simple and easy to make. And she was able to follow the instructions. So that was good, because my mother just thought of it and we made it. So that was good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I think that's a brilliant introduction. So I shall now attempt to show everybody the video. Let me see if I can make it work. Thank you, girls.
Oh, no.
Hi everyone, today we're cooking chestnut mushroom and paneer pulao. For this recipe, we need to soak 2 cups of basmati rice in lukewarm water for 30 minutes. While we leave the rice to soak, pour 5 tablespoons of oil in a hot fry pan. Add in 200 grams of sliced onion and fry until the onions are golden brown. Next we need our garam masala, which includes 3 bay leaves, 10 to 12 pods of cardamom, 10 to 12 whole black pepper, 6 pieces of clove, and a couple of small cinnamon sticks. Add the garam masala spices to the mixture along with 3 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Add 3 tablespoons of yogurt. Add 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now mix all the ingredients together. It's time for the mushrooms. We take 250 grams of chestnut mushrooms which have been washed and sliced. Add the mushrooms to the pan and mix everything together. Take 250 grams of paneer and chop it into small cubes. Add the paneer along with a couple of mint and coriander leaves to the mixture and let it cook uncovered on low heat for 10 minutes. Now drain our basmati rice, add it to the pan, and mix it all together. Add 2 cups of boiling water to the pan. Mix it all together and let it cook on high heat, uncovered, for 5 minutes. Then lower the heat, cover the rice, and let it simmer for a further 10 minutes. And there we have it, delicious chestnut mushroom and paneer pulao. Dish it up, ready to serve and enjoy. For more videos and updates regarding where you can find our delicious Indian street food, please follow us at Lucknow to London on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.
Right, here we are, we're back. Well, that was amazing and looked so incredibly simple. Tell us, are there any sort of special tips, particularly around cooking rice?
Soaking it.
I was just looking at my mother, she's sitting in the back. Basically soaking it, and our mother was really impressed with the quality of the rice because we used still the basmati long grain rice, and we only soaked it for 30 minutes, and it came out really well in terms of once it was cooked, it was very long grains, and it wasn't sticky rice, so it was very fluffy when you so that was one of the tips. I think would be to soak it for 30 minutes. Without soaking it, I don't think you'll get that same sort of like texture of the rice. I'm just looking at my mum. Yeah, the mother's just saying that it won't be so soft if you don't soak it. Oh, and in lukewarm water. Yeah, and in lukewarm water. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Nodding in the background.
I love that. And so when you soak it, do you put it in a pot and cover it completely, or just a little bit of water?
Oh, yeah, cover it. Yeah, you could put a lid on it, and so you just cover it with water in a bowl. So, for example, we use 2 cups in that video. So we just put about 3 cups of water then. So there was a little gap, so that the rice could not expand, expand or sort of cover the water. Yeah, cover it with water basically. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. And what would you eat with pilau? I mean, would you normally have some side dishes or some bread or?
When we had it with just raita, yogurt. So you could just had it with yogurt and chutney, like a coriander one. But when my cousin made it, they made it with some chicken. So they just roasted some chickens, or spiced it with chicken and have it with chicken. So you can have it on its own with just some yogurt dip, so you can have it with a side to a chicken dish or something.
And our cousin's wife, she's a vegetarian, so she just had it on its own, and it's substantial as a meal on its own as well. So the reason why it's vegetarian, not vegan, is because the paneer is cheese, and we put yogurt in it to give it a bit of masala, to give it a bit of taste with the garam masala and stuff. So that's why it's got yogurt in it. So because quite a lot of Indian cooking does have yogurt, just to give it either it's yogurt based or tomato based.
Yes, yes. Well, it looked absolutely delicious. There's a question that's come in on Facebook. It says, "This looks so yum. I'm going to get another recipe. Please keep posting more recipes."
We'll do.
Look forward to more recipes. So we will show the other one in a moment. But I just wondered if I could ask you a couple of questions about your cooking.
Sure.
How do you divide that up? Does one of you cut, sort of chop the meat or the vegetables, and the other do the stirring, or how do you divide up the tasks?
We didn't do it. It just came out that I do the meat. I cook the meat, so I cook the chicken and the mutton, and my sister cooks the veg and the salad, and she does the salad and the veg and the sauces, and the dal. And the dal. Yeah. So and we didn't decide that, but it just happened. So yeah. I do the meat, and my sister does. So the
rice is cooked on the stove on the day, because we have a massive rice cooker, so we can cook like 100 portions there and then. And then the Turkish bread we purchase on the day, and the other stuff we've like for example, while the video is on, Sarah went downstairs to check on the chicken because she's cooking the butter
15 kilos at the moment
downstairs
to go and check.
So she just quickly went and checked while the video was playing. So yeah,
but it works really well, so we divided it that way.
We just subconsciously we
didn't realize we did it, but I focus on the meat and my sister focus on the veg and the science.
And your inspiration is your mother completely.
Yes.
And did you watch her cooking as you were growing up, or has this been something that you've come to much, once you were adults?
No, it was from childhood because of
our dinner parties. We used to help a lot.
My mother loves cooking herself, so she's always in the kitchen. So nowadays we tease that she wobbles in, does her magic, and then wobbles out. So we sort of like since childhood we've seen her cooking, and and
then my sister, I think she took it on cooking, but I didn't even used to go to the kitchen. I used to go to the kitchen just to eat, and I didn't used to cook at all until we started the business. And then I really enjoy cooking. Started having
it's like we joke that she can't cook for 2 people, but she can cook for 200.
So I can't cook for 4 or 5, but I can cook for 100. I know the recipes. I have got the whole thing for 100, not less than 100.
Because she does everything with measurement, and I don't. I do like my mum, sort of a bit of this, bit of that, bit of this. But she has to have.
I have to have it in a book. So I would go to my mum if I was cooking something. I would go to my mum, and I will have exactly what to do. And then I realized that when I used to go to my mum, it's actually not much. So it's just a simple, it's not much ingredients to do it, and it doesn't take much time. So then
I think the secret is the balance, and knowing what the balance is. And like, for example, my mum can smell and she knows that what is required, but it's just it's not just putting chili in, but it's knowing how much chili, how much salt, the mixture of the two. And sometimes there's very few ingredients in, but like the second video you will show, there's just salt and chili, and that's it, literally. And it's very simple, and that's what we wanted to do, was to do simple dishes, because Sahar's friend came over just a little while ago before lockdown, and we were chopping some potatoes at the time, and then we cooked the potatoes, and she kept saying, "This potato," and I'm like, "Yes."
And she was like, "You didn't put much, but it's amazing." But she was like, "How did you do this?" It's like it's just simple things, but it's all put together. Just the balance, yeah.
Well, I can certainly say the results are delicious, because I've eaten your curries many times.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's watch the second video.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, today we're going to be making mushroom sabzi. First, add 2 tablespoons of oil into a heated pan. Add in 100 grams of sliced onions and sauté the onions. Add in half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and brown the onions. Next, we add 250 grams of chestnut mushrooms which have been washed and sliced. Add 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste to the pan, along with 100 grams of sliced tomatoes. followed by half a teaspoon of ground chili powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Mix everything in the pan together and let it cook uncovered on high heat for 5 to 10 minutes until the mushrooms have softened. And there we have it, delicious mushroom sabzi ready to serve and enjoy. For more videos and updates regarding where you can find our delicious Indian street food, please follow us at Lucknow to London on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.
Yay, it worked. Fantastic. Now that looked particularly easy and incredibly delicious. So there really we're talking about a side dish, I think, are we? Or it could be the main dish.
It could be the main dish if you want it to be, if you're vegetarian or vegan.
You could have that with like lentils and rice.
Yeah, rice and lentils.
Yeah, because we've done that. We've had just that with lentils and rice.
So with that one on the day, because the mushrooms are reduced, we actually put you know, those green giants like tin of corn, so we put that into the dish just to make it a little bit more. But you can add spinach to that if you want.
It's very simple. During the cooking process, you just add sweet corn,
or peppers,
or
so whatever you like, you can add to it. And we use chestnut mushrooms because of foraging. We thought that was...
Although we didn't really able to.
We actually went to the market in West Norwood, to the stall in West Norwood, to try and get them from there. But unfortunately, I think we went the wrong day or the wrong time. They weren't there, so then we had to go to the supermarket to get them instead. But yeah, there's not much foraging around here.
No, thank you. And I should say that to everybody watching. I mean, the whole point of including having mushrooms was because it was as though they were foraged. And obviously yesterday with Wendy Yates, she did actually use foraged crab apples for her crab apple jelly. But I think it's easier to forage a crab apple than it is to judge whether you're foraging a mushroom you should eat as opposed to a mushroom that might kill you. So a word of warning to everybody, we highly recommend buying your mushrooms either from the veg stall in West Norwood or one of the other many shops. So we've got another question on Facebook, and it says, oh, this is a question going back to the first recipe. I'm lactose intolerant. What alternatives would you suggest to paneer?
Tofu. Tofu. You could do tofu, and then you don't put yogurt in as well.
Yeah.
But I think
we could just do mushroom on its own.
Yeah. And add sweet corn or another vegetable or potato. You could, but tofu could be. I know we've done. Or you could do corn.
Corn is quite. That's
corn
vegetarian,
pieces.
Not vegan. Yeah.
Corn pieces.
Yeah.
So that you could do that too, instead of paneer.
Yes, that's a good idea. And another question from Tina. She says, do you always add garam masala near the end of cooking?
No, we always do it in the beginning.
Yes.
So it's always when the onions are frying. I'm doing it because of the slow cooked mutton. But yeah, you do it in the beginning because I think it infuses with the onions. Yeah. So that's why it's always in the beginning for us. We always put the garam masala in the beginning.
Because it's like flavouring the oil?
Yeah, and it infuses it as well. Because sometimes I take out the cinnamon when you put everything together because it darkens everything else. So that's why it's always put in the beginning for us.
Oh, right, interesting. I've certainly seen recipes where they talk about putting the garam masala at the end, but when I'm making curry, I always put all the spices in the beginning when I'm frying off the onions.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And you get more of a sort of curry or a paste, don't you, then, that you can flavour everything else with.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Oh gosh, the questions.
I think we should bring our mum now. Getting more difficult.
All right. So someone said, do you add garam masala powder as well?
Our mother just
pointed out that if we were to use powder, then you put that in later on. You wouldn't put that in the beginning with the onions. So that would be put later on, isn't it? Yeah. So
just before you serve, when you're simmering
it. So the flavour is in the end. But that's the powder. So if you were to put powder, you put it later on when you're simmering the food. So when the food is like just before cooking, just before serving,
very little.
You just put a little bit.
Our mother's a bit shy. She didn't want to come on camera. That's why she's sitting in the back.
No, that's okay.
She's making sure we're saying the right things. Yeah. She's telling us off. We're not saying the right thing.
Oh no, that's fantastic. Another question: Can I add capsicum?
Yeah. Especially with mushroom.
Yeah, we do.
It goes really well. Yeah. Mushroom and pepper goes really well. We eat that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mushroom and capsicum is good.
And spinach and mushrooms is really good.
That's a favourite.
Yeah, it's my favourite.
So spinach and mushroom is always a favourite.
Yes, they do go. They are delicious together, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I prefer spinach with mushrooms than with potato. I think they go better with the mushroom, but I like the taste of mushrooms. So that's fine. Yes. I mean, I'm not keen on spinach on its own, but I always love it when it's mixed with other vegetables. So, couple of questions. Well, one about your business, Lucknow to London. What's the most popular dish your customers love?
Well, I will say, because I'm cooking it, the slow cooked mutton is very popular of ours, and I think with slow cooked mutton, it's got a very strong smell as well, so it wafts around everywhere. But a lot of people, when we just get them to try it, they really do enjoy it. So,
I mean, it's in West Norwood Feast. It's one of our most favourite dishes.
Yeah, the chicken is good for the kids. We've noticed.
Yeah,
the butter chicken and the aubergine for the veggies.
Veggies, yeah,
or non-veggies. Who loves aubergines? Yeah.
But with the slow cooked mutton, we've been cooking for 12 hours.
Yes.
So it's hard work. Because when she's cooking like 20 kilos of slow cooked mutton, she's like literally standing on a stool and then
having a big, huge pot to put it all in. So yes, it takes many hours.
And so is that on the bone? Do you cook it on the bone?
Yes, we cook it on the bone and then we take the bone out. But we make sure that the bone are in big chunks of bones.
So we take it out before we serve, but we definitely cook with bone because of the juices. So our mum always says you must cook with the bone because of juices.
And we use the local butchers in West Norwood. We get our meat from there.
All our shopping is West Norwood.
All our shopping is West Norwood.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we've got a discussion on Tuesday night around a project called 15-Minute City. And the concept is that everything you need is within 15 minutes. And so the idea is that it stops you having to always get in the car and drive to places. But I think we're very lucky in West Norwood that we do in fact have most things available in 15 or even less minutes. Another question here, how different is the cooking that you do for Lucknow to London from what you cook and eat at home? Are you going to tell us that you eat baked beans on toast at home?
No, it's the same.
It's the exact same.
It's the same.
It's the same thing. That's what we wanted to try to do, is show our food. And literally home cooked.
Yeah.
Our mother's food. So we can't change it. And my mum won't let us as well. So it's the exact same. Just the chicken is a little bit less chili because we give it for kids. So it's milder. But everything else is the same. It's the exact same recipe. Everything.
It's just you have to scale it up for 100 people. How do you plan how much to cook for when you go, say, to West Norwood Feast? I mean, that's the lottery, isn't it?
Oh no, it's experience. So in the beginning we were like,
we didn't know,
quite clueless. So we used to either make too much and we would be eating it for the next week, or it would be the opposite and we cooked too little.
So for example, the first time we went to Streatham Kite Day, we had no idea. They said you're gonna be busy. We were like, oh yeah, okay. We cooked for 50. We ended up serving 150. This is in 2016. And our mother and our aunts, they were cooking.
We sold out before
we'd even started.
It was crazy. But then what we did is we carried on cooking, and my mother and my aunt cooking at home.
Our brother was the driver. And then
but now we have an idea. So we roughly know whenever we go to a market, how much roughly, and depending on the weather, we work out how much we do how much we will be able to do. So that's how we do it.
And what we've noticed is, and after the lockdowns, all our markets have been really busy because people just want to get out of lockdown. So they've been like, we've been having very successful markets that we've been attending, West Norwood Feast, Streatham Rookery, Horniman. So people just want to get out and about. So it was nice to see people out and about in these markets under strict COVID conditions, rules and regulations.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Someone else has asked, would you share your secret homemade, well, I'm saying it's secret, your homemade garam masala mix?
Yeah,
Yeah, just ask them.
Yeah. Sure, that's not a family secret.
No, we can post it on Facebook and stuff. We can, how much quantity for each thing. My mum, do you wanted it now? Do you want to?
No. I mean, no. It's probably easier to write it down. Yeah. Yes. I mean, typically, often when the family recipes are shared, one item is left out. So I've heard, or not quite the right amount. So you can never quite create the. You know,
no, we will tell you everything. Yeah,
well, thank you. So tell us what's for the future for Lucknow to London then. Apart from going to Feast, we'll all see you there tomorrow, and I'm looking forward very much to the butter chicken.
So we're hoping to start a new food delivery service. We're going to start posting it on Instagram. We thought we'd launch in December and then follow it through next year. So we were still sort of like contemplating the menu.
We're hoping to try and do different things each week and try to do different flavors.
So like a mini supper club. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do any supper clubs this year, and we've had 2 supper clubs in West Norwood at Volcano, and they've been really successful and really enjoyable events. So we were hoping to possibly do more supper clubs next year.
But the food delivery, we'll post it like a week before, and then we're hoping to like then one day of the week to try and deliver the food cold, and it's up to you to either heat it up and have it then, or put it in the fridge and have it in the next day, or you can even freeze it because everything will be cooked fresh, and then you can decide when to cook.
And we're just going to be doing it locally for sort of like London South East, London South West postcode. So it would be me and my brother driving up with the food, and Sarah will be probably cooking and putting it together. So
I don't think our brother knows that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. He's going to be one of the drivers. We'll have to let him know. Yeah.
But the whole world knows that now. So
tell him.
But we're hoping to do that soon, because it'll be nice to share like our mum's other different foods. So because we're quite limited in the market to do certain dishes, we won't be able to do other ones. So with this food delivery, we'll be able to do mushrooms.
Yeah, and we can do the palau.
We could do mushroom palau. Yeah. We could do different veggie ones that we haven't managed to do, because there's so much variety with different vegetarian
foods. And with vegetarian food, you can't go wrong with being vegetarian. You can't go wrong with Indian food, because there's so much choice, vegan or vegetarian in general. So there's so much choice. So that's something that we can showcase in the future in our delivery foods, in our delivery service and the supper clubs.
Yes, and I love the idea that you'll be delivering it cold, so people can put it in the freezer or heat it up. So it's not going to be like ordering a takeaway.
Yeah, it's not takeaway, because you can eat it another time or when you choose.
At your convenience.
Yeah, you can have it the next day for lunch or whatsoever. Or you can even pop in the freezer and then have it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because we have some customers that come to say, for example, West Norwood Feast, and they're buying for their lunch. So they bring their Tupperware and then we give it to them in their Tupperware. So it's convenient to then take it home and eat it at your leisure rather than have to eat it there and then. So
yes, I nearly always buy double the amount and put it in the freezer when I get home, and then it's there for.
Yes, I remember last time.
Very good. So tell us all about tomorrow then at West Norwood Feast. Where will people find you, and what food are you going to be serving?
So we're going to be in is it St Luke's Church area?
Yeah, in
St Luke's Church, and
outside.
We're going to be serving our slow cooked mutton, butter pulled chicken, lentils, aubergine and potatoes, rice, and Turkish bread, salad. I still have to do that salad right now, and I would have to do the coriander chutney as well. I'll be making that shortly, and tomato chutney.
And so we'll be there from 10 to 4 tomorrow. Yeah. And hopefully the weather's good, so it'll be lovely to see whoever comes around.
And one day, hopefully, we'll bring the plough there.
Yes.
The mushroom.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Well, this has been absolutely inspirational, and you are just lovely guests to have with the festival. There's so much more we could talk about, but I think we'll save that for another time. And I look forward very much to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you for your 2 recipes. To everybody watching, the recipe videos are up on Lucknow to London's page on the festival program website, so you can see it easily there. And it's also on the Lucknow to London's YouTube channel as well. And who knows, maybe it'll be joined by other videos in the future. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been a fantastic half an hour, and I'm starving hungry now. But I haven't got any mushrooms. Yikes.
We'll see you tomorrow for your butter chicken.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And Norwood Forum has also got a stall at Feast tomorrow. We're going to be outside the library, so I think we'll be able to smell the curries wafting over the road, and we'll definitely come and see you. But everybody who's going to visit Lucknow to London store, please pop over the road and come and see us. And we have lots of information about the festival events that are running in the second week, and also some other Norwood Forum projects, including the new blue plaque historic trail through West Norwood, give you a slightly different historic view of some of the existing buildings we have. And also we have a footways map to give away, which is a new map that's been published that show quiet and interesting back roads to walk between key destinations. Admittedly, at the moment, that's only in central London, but it's a very interesting map nevertheless. And we'll also have some information about our festival finale, which we just launched today, which is going to be an actual in-person event. So finally, we can meet in larger groups now that we're out of lockdown. It's going to be a film. It's going to be in St Matthew's Church car park, which is the church opposite St Luke's. And it's going to be on Sunday, the 13th of December. We're going to have an early start at 4:30, and the film is called Where the Wild Things Are. And all the information again is on the festival program website, and no doubt you'll see my many social media posts about it. Obviously it's free, as is everything with the festival, and we hope to see everybody around and about. Well, thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, everybody, and thank you again to Nida and Seher for a fantastic session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.